The housing affordability crisis is shaping up to be a key election issue this campaign, and much of the problem is due to the soaring price of land. In Canberra, as the city expands outwards and fills inwards, the government-run land development agency is rushing to release more blocks. But demand is still outstripping supply, prompting many to cross the border for better value.
Come through.
Thank you.
It's Thursday evening and Matthew Partridge and Tegan Gahar are about to see their house plans for the first time. It's been a long process for the couple after a number of false starts.
We live in Harrison currently, and we've been looking at the development across the road for a number of years.
That development was Throsby, and they were just one of hundreds hoping to secure a block at auction in February.
It was quite surreal. I mean, there were a lot of people in the room, and unfortunately the prices were just outside of our comfort zone.
Well, and truly. Their prospective 594 square metre block was independently valued at $391,500. Tegan and Matthew were prepared to stretch to $450, but in a flurry of bids, the block sold for the princely sum of $540,000.
I don't know who can afford to buy those, but it's not the average people anyway.
It's a unique suburb, 1,200 dwellings, very close to Gungahlin town centre, 7 kilometres from the city. So when you look at and you talk to people at that particular auction, that was the reasons what the attraction was.
It's an attraction that stretches beyond auction and into ballot. Even smaller average-sized blocks don't come cheap. At Moncrief 2 years ago, a block of that size would set you back about $242,000. A similar size in Throsby, even by ballot, comes in at $424,000.
Typically what we see with releases in the ACT is long periods of drought where there is literally no land available for purchase, followed by a big flood to the market where there's a mad scurry from homeowners and builders to try and get their hands on land to build.
Supply has certainly been a problem in the past. Federal environmental clearances held up the LDA's program by about 3 years.
We are very conscious about the fact that we do need to get some more single dwellings to the market, hence why we're doing Throsby all at once, why we'll do Taylor all at once as well.
Housing choice is as important as land supply, and builders argue this is where the government has its priorities wrong. Units and apartments are increasingly becoming part of the housing mix as the classic detached home becomes a tougher get for Canberra's aspirational.
And that's just too much. That's why we have so many apartment projects currently approved and not yet under construction.
We look at demand, we obviously look at the ABS data, we also look at our own population growth projections as well.
For Tegan and Matthew, it became a toss-up. Blow their budget on land or save it for the house itself.
We made the compromise, and that's why we've decided to become Gugonian.
They aren't the only ones crossing the border to places like Gugong.
Everywhere from Yass to Queanbeyan to Bungendore, people are getting better value away from the ACT at the moment.
A city growing beyond its borders. James Fettes, ABC News, Canberra.